that's a
Yeah, anyone.
That's one of the things. So. Hi, Bill.
Bill or Bill?
Hi.
Bill.
Oh, I think so.
Bill,
And you are
I'm Sunny,
Sunny.
the teacher.
Nice to meet you, Sunny.
Nice to meet you too, Bill.
So we're looking at these to talk about tonight.
That's it. Yeah. Pick one you think you'd like to play with.
I like that.
Hello. Okay. I will go see.
Are you in the right place?
Well, only one.
Only one.
I had so many choices.
I know. Yes.
Are they all from the library? Where would you?
Some of them aren't.
Oh, because I'll take a picture of it, because I want to check them out later. I'll take a picture of them all.
Okay. Bill, could you sit with me
Sure.
for a moment? So Mary's not from you
I had cataract surgery a month ago, so I can see distance.
I'm getting that done in November. Everybody keeps saying, oh, you're gonna.
You're gonna love it, like the close vision is very bad. I have to use cheaters.
Well, I said I wanted to do.
Yeah,
it.
right.
Driving at night, everything's are,
It's safer. Why is it the same thing?
well, yeah, I figured I've worn glasses all my life, so wearing reading glasses.
My wife is hard of hearing and I get a sense of.
I just, no judgment.
One said one and one, yeah, they have.
I laughed at that too. I really have wanted to see what mine suggested videos would be.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Probably, yeah.
Sign safe.
probably old movies or something. Alright. And I think you have a good week.
I do, a little Achilles, challenge.
One of my favorites.
Been a long time since I've been called to the principal.
Oh.
All right. She's very gracious.
So Mr. Bill is Mary Carlin's husband. And Mary could not come tonight, so he stepped in. Oh, cool. Okay.
Well, he beat me out for husband of the week, I guess. I don't have to try anymore.
Okay. All right, so we have reached the witching hour. Well, hello, Alina.
Hi,
Oh, wait a minute. You hear me? Yep. There she is. Oh, okay.
hi.
Hello. This
Hello.
is weird. I'm sorry. If you think I'm a novice, trust me on that one. I've not done any of this type thing before. So, I guess just to remind everybody is somebody else missing? The Cynthia's, are both Cynthia's here?
No.
That's one's there. Okay, so we're missing the other Cynthia. Is that the only person missing?
There's
Ellen.
Oh,
Oh, the other Ellen?
And the other Kelly, I think. Two Ellens, two Cynthias, and two Kellys.
Oh, good lord.
Okay.
Okay, so we're missing one of each one of them? That's right. So we're missing 3 people. Okay. All right, we only have 2 chairs out, so we might need to add another chair. And so, I'm gonna get another person there. Should they show up? Okay. All right. Now, so hopefully everybody got the email. My friend that wrote our book, right away with me, is going to be on Zoom with us.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Okay, all right, and however, when she comes, we are gonna sing happy birthday,
Sure.
if you don't mind. Only because she's not expecting it. And I want to surprise her. And her birthday was a couple of days ago, so, I think everybody in our age bracket needs to have all the people in the world singing happy birthday. Okay, so, to get started, the books that are in front of you are the books that we are going to be playing with for this evening, okay? So beginner's mind means whichever book you selected, it really doesn't matter. We've got some from the children's library, and then Catherine got from the teen library, okay? So whichever book you chose is fine. And we're gonna play with that. We're gonna read maybe a couple of points out of there, and then we're going to talk about beginner's mind. That's the main focus for tonight, okay? And there she is. Hello, Miss Marilyn. And you can say hello. You can say hello. She's muted.
She's on mute.
She's
She has to
what?
take
She's
off
on
her,
mute. Marilyn, you're
she's
on
on
mute.
I understand the problem.
There it
There you
goes.
go.
There you
Well,
go.
hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello. We have something we'd like to share with you, if you don't mind.
Yes,
Okay.
fine.
Okay. All right, everybody.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marilyn. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, I don't think anyone sang happy birthday to me, so that was nice. I did have a nice day, though.
Good, good. Okay, so this is my class. Oh, well, almost everybody. So how about would you like to say anything to anyone or all of us?
Well, first, I'd like to congratulate you for doing this class. I think it's wonderful. I've known Sunny for several years. She's just a little energizing bunny. So she got right to it and is trying to spur me on to do the same thing. I'd kind of like to hear your reactions to the class and how you feel about writing poetry. Have you had any changes in ideas about poetry since you've started? Would anyone care to comment?
Okay, this does not mean to be silent. This means to open your mouth.
Well, it's either gonna be Kelly or it's gonna be me, so I'll refer to Kelly.
Right. You, so carry on.
Now, excuse me, but do talk nice and loud and slowly because it's difficult hearing you through the computer.
I definitely enjoyed your process of how you're writing your poems. The found one that we just read, I was like, I had never thought about that. I mean, I read a book and underline a piece that I think, oh, this is so beautiful, but I never thought about turning it into poetry. So I'm excited about trying to do that.
Good. All right. Sounds like you could easily find a found poem. Yeah.
I will say that I find it very appealing that you encourage people to follow their thoughts and feelings from daily life to write poems and not to feel trapped by formalities. So I think that's very freeing. So thank you for that.
Good. Yes, I think today we we don't really express our feelings very well, even in conversation with friends. Sometimes it's hard, you know. We talk on the surface. Uh, I that was one of the reasons I wanted to write the book that way, was because it's such a great avenue for expressing your inner feelings and your inner thoughts. It's very hard to do that to a person sometimes. First of all, they don't understand you. They don't know where you're coming from. They might think you're a little crazy. Uh, I'm glad you had that experience. Anybody else?
Well, I've pretty much enjoyed all aspects of the class. The fact that form is going to take shape later, I think, than just getting thoughts out and connecting them and structuring them is really good. And was it the Billy Collins quote that you wrote from for a prompt? No, it's not. I want to say cleanliness is the princess of something. I mean, he's my favorite guy.
Yeah.
Remember-
Well, yeah, in the book I quoted Rusty Burkus. He says, "In every heart lies a poem, aching to be born. For the signature of the soul set down in one's own hand is poetry." That's kind of nice to know. I had an interesting story. I thought my daughter read my book, and she's not a poetry writer, or I think she might read. She reads a little poetry. She's got a couple of poetry books at home. But she said to me not too long ago, "Mom, I wrote my first poem." I said, "Well, great." I said, "How did it make you feel?" And she thought a while, and she said, "You know, it galvanized the experience for me." I thought, well, that's so nice. Now, I asked my engineer partner what galvanized means. It doesn't mean what the way he defined it, but to me, it meant it set it like in concrete, you know, it put it in her mind. So every time she thinks of that experience, she's going to remember. She wrote a poem about it. She said it was a nice experience, and I probably would forget it in a few months, but because I wrote that poem, I'm going to remember it. So you see, the poem will help you relive these wonderful experiences that you have had. They might just be 2 or 3 lines, but it's enriching. I would really be interested. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention. I didn't speak very much about it in the book because you're beginners, I imagine. I'm a beginner. I'm definitely not an authority on writing poetry. I do belong to a poetry society here in Tucson. It's very helpful when I hear other poets read their work. I know I still have a long ways to go, and we all have our own voice. I don't write poetry like anybody else, and that's good because then I know it's mine. I'm not trying to copy somebody else. Some people just write about nature. Some people write about current events. And our poetry society just put out a book called "While America Slept Again." And they called for reactions to the election that we just had. And people sent in their poems. They weren't all reactions to but they were very feeling, like disappointments, reactions. So that was nice. If you can join a group like that, a real poetry group, it's very, very helpful. I've learned a lot by being in this group. we meet once a month and people submit poems. The person reads the poem on Zoom, and then the other participants comment. And there is a way that we comment. We're encouraged to begin, first of all, with a positive comment. You may not like the poem, but you don't come out and say, "Oh, that's an awful poem." That's not very encouraging. But so you'll find something good to say about it. And then you can point out what it is, maybe that you don't like. Maybe it's too wordy. Maybe it's too long. Maybe you just don't understand it. Maybe you could say, well, your title doesn't give me any idea what the poem's about. I don't know where you're going. Or it might be beautiful. And you might just comment on the wonderful phrases, the alliteration, the choice of words. So if you do that, I don't know if you do that, if you read your poems out loud, do you? During the class, do you read your poems? Right? Do you comment on each other's poems?
Yes,
I
they
think we're
did.
just starting to do that. What
Yeah.
did you say?
Yes,
Yes.
we're going to do it this time.
Ah, okay.
I would say that I find from my poetry group that the things that they comment on most is using too many words. Often the suggestion is take out this word, take out that word, shorten it up, compress it. Because as you compress it, it seems like the feeling also compresses. And sometimes it can be very simple. For instance, the last poem that I submitted, I used the phrase, he retreated back into his hole. Well, the comment was, well, you don't need the word back, just retreat, because a retreat is going back. Oh, well, that's true, okay? So little things like that, the more you can compress the poem, it becomes stronger. And then I think too, the ending of the poem is very important. A lot of people have a little twist at the end or a little surprise, perhaps. It kind of completes it, it settles you into the poem. In fact, I was sitting here at my desk and I saw something that I had written the other day, and I didn't have a last line for it. And I don't know, I thought I might read it to you and ask you all to write the last line for me and see what you come up with. Are you game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I don't have a title for it either, so you could think of a title too. All right, this is what I wrote. They come knocking at your door, promising salvation. They sneak icons on your email, promising revised compositions. They send unsolicited emails, submerging my inbox. Wise men rush to their ashrams, but I, ? So what do I do? So how would you feel about these lines? Let me read it again. They come knocking at your door, promising salvation. They sneak icons on your email, promising revised compositions. They send unsolicited emails submerging my inbox. Wise men rush to their ashrams, but I
can make things, you have to turn this on to answer?
just give them a minute, Sonny, to write something down and see what they come up with. How would you finish that? But
I would say, I take shelter in prayer.
That's a good one. I take shelter in prayer. Any other ideas?
My
I
faith
delete.
overcomes. Oops, sorry.
Right, Joe.
My faith and trust overcomes all.
Okay, say it again. Say it for me, Sonny.
My faith and trust overcomes all.
All right. Oh, very good. Okay. I see you kind of kept the religious theme here, salvation and ashrams. My faith and trust overcomes all. Okay, very good. Anybody else? This girl up front is writing. She must be writing something.
This is Catherine.
Hi. I was actually just, you inspired me to write another poem, so I was just writing down my thought, but I don't have a last line for you. Who's the last line? Oh. Kelly's got
I close the door and take a nap.
it.
Okay, I close the door and do what?
Take a nap.
Then take a nap. All right, see, that's good. All right. So yeah, that's a little levity in there. I just before this class, I was reading this, and so I wrote a line. I said, I breathe a prayer, Father, deliver us from intruders. And then I named it Intruders. Although I don't know if that's such a good title because I use that word at the end. It's some repetition, but anyway. Okay, well, good. That's very good. You know, things don't always come right away. I often just write a lot of phrases like that and let it sit for a day or so, and then I go back to it. I change something, I write some more, and that's how the poem develops. So it's a continual process. I find it fun most of the time.
All right. Now, do you have something you want to share,
Yeah, do you have any questions?
Alina? Would you like to share?
Oh, I was just going to say, I delete them. That would have been my last line.
Oh, I
I
delete.
delete them.
Or I press delete.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
press delete. Yes, I like that.
Okay, all right.
How much rewriting do you do? I mean, is it a continual process and it finally is there, or you say, okay, I've done as much as I can, and then, 10 years later, you have this epiphany and say, oh, if I just went back and did this, it would be better.
So did you ask about rhyming?
No, rewriting.
Oh, rewriting. Yeah, I think even poems, people who have published poems go back sometimes and rewrite. Now, I don't mean rewrite the whole thing, change a word, maybe change a phrase, make a break in the line. Where you make your breaks in the line has a lot to do with giving the feeling in the poem too. So those are the little things to think about. I think initially when you first sit down to write the poem, you just write, quickly what thoughts come right away. But then it's like anything else, you polish it. Sunny, did they write a poem for today?
That's,
Could we hear a couple poems?
You read to page 60?
right.
We read to page 60, so we wrote a poem for each prompt that are on those pages.
Okay, all right, so, would everyone get their poems out then, that they wrote for the class tonight?
Before we do that, can I make a comment?
Okay.
I wanted to say that I found many of your poems inspiring and all of them quite beautiful. Some of them connect with the work I do with prisoners, and I'm going to share one in particular that you go lost in time, because up till the last stanza, the people I work with would agree that describes their world in many ways. But I don't think they would see a young child with tousled hair. I don't know what the glimpse of freedom would be for them. And I'm going to ask them to maybe finish that with the final stanza. And if I get it in time, I'll share it with the class. But Lost in Time is a really gripping poem to me.
Yeah, I like that poem a lot too. And you know what inspired that was my grandson. And I think, I'm not sure, but I might have that poem in here too, that it came from. He was about 3 years old, and he was coming down the steps, and I was at the bottom of the steps, and I was saying to him, Deshaun, hurry up, hurry up. I was in a big hurry. I was always in a big hurry. Hurry up, Deshaun, hurry up. And he taking his sweet time, 2 feet on every step. And I knew he could do better than that. And finally he gets to the bottom and he looks up at me and he says, Grandma, what's hurry? I thought, oh, isn't that interesting? What's hurry? And that's where this poem came from. We build ourselves a house of time. Yes, and everything is scheduled, right? So what did you say about that last line? I don't know if some people got it. You look at suddenly out the window, a tow-headed boy runs by. He's chasing butterflies, and he lets out this scream of joy. And I think originally I had another line. I don't think I put it in here. I think it was kind of erased. I don't know if it was prompted to do that or not. But then the last line was, we turn and close the curtains, bedtime. So in other words, we adults are so taken up with time, and the child has no sense of time. He's running around screeching with the butterflies, but we don't pay any attention. There's a hand up, Sonny.
Seems to me that the timeless laughter. It seems to me that the timeless laughter is perfect too, because you're lost in time, in some ways trapped in time, but he in his laughter is free of time.
That's right. He knows no
That was a
time.
great ending, personally.
What's hurry, Grandma?
I'm a grandpa, I get it.
My little granddaughter too, one time she asked, I used to say to her when she wanted to do something, can we do this, Grandma? Can we do this? Finally, I learned from my daughter, yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Tomorrow would be a good time to do that. So after I did that a couple of weeks, she said, Grandma, when does tomorrow come? There again, there's no concept of time. Yeah, it's really quite beautiful if you listen to the little ones. Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and everybody get their points that they did for this past week out. And
Can't hear you, Sonny. You have to lift the, yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do now is get our points out that they did for homework. And then we're going to have several of you read your points. Okay? And then we can discuss them and go from there. Okay? All right? Who would like to read first? Okay, everybody raise your hand, and then I'll put one down, and then that's the one that's going to do it. Okay, there you go.
This is from the prompt of an experience in your life. You want to do yours? Nom Pen, wonder of wonders. Women wielding willow brooms. every single block sweeping, dust and trash keeping roads clean. Motos zooming ahead, falling back, family on two wheels, father driving, 4-year-old standing between his legs, mother sitting side saddle, nursing baby at her breast. 3 crates stacked in the luggage rack behind. 1 suckling pig, hog tied upside down in each, family going to market. Foreign correspondence clubs, drinks at rooftop bar. Listen to the Aussies and Kiwis loudly debating all blacks versus bombers. 2 Indian merchants retelling feats of cricket. Sitting here tired from 32 hours of travel, warmed by another cocktail. Is this where Sigourney sat? Could things be even more wonderful? Walking downstairs, on way to hotel, passing through door, met by 2 elephants walking on the street. This is clearly not Richmond.
This is clearly not what Richmond?
Richmond.
Richmond. Yeah.
As in city.
Yeah, good, very good ending. Yes, yes, the contrast, very good. I liked your short little phrases, especially in the beginning. You described the people like with 2 or 3 words. It's very that was very strong. And then you didn't come right out and say it, but obviously, we had the contrast of the rich and the poor. The man gets up from his cocktail, right, and goes out the hotel room. Well, obviously he's got money. So very good contrast. Is there a title to it?
No, and I'm not sure it's done yet.
Okay, good.
He said no. And he doesn't think it's done quite yet.
Okay, I like it. Very good. Yeah, one thing I wanted to say too is notice the strong words that you used. Very good descriptive adjectives. And also the verbs. Usually the verbs carry a lot of power in a poem. So always look at your verbs and see if that's the best choice you could make. Okay, let's have another one.
Okay.
Does anyone else in the group want to comment?
Please.
Does anybody want to comment on Andy's point?
I thought the twist at the end was very powerful. And you were talking about Saigon, right?
No, Phnom Penh.
Phnom Penh, okay. That I kind of.
He's probably the.
But then to say this is on Richmond, I thought was wonderful.
Well, it was my first work trip to an Asian country.
The poem was about his first work trip to an Asian country, Marilyn.
Yes.
The poem was about Andy's first work trip
Uh-huh.
to an Asian country.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anybody else have any comments? Okay. Well, okay.
I'll keep working.
Yes, please do. Please do. Just because, remember, it's not ever done. Ask Tim about how,
Yes.
how done
This
his.
is a revision from 55 years ago.
Ready?
Okay, I wrote about the experience in my life. An adventure in Sweden. I was terrified, but I decided to conquer. I was happy, I was sad, I didn't know when I would be back. I knew was my last embrace with my parents. I knew was the beginning embrace to my future. I cried, I smiled, I win. And I will live again my adventure in Sweden. Jag pratar på svenska.
Okay, I'm going to ask Sunny to read that for me again because it's hard to understand through the microphone. It's hard to understand through the computer, period, but then you got a microphone on top of it. It's even harder too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, she is Spanish, so her accent is a little hard to understand. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right. She calls, an adventure in Sweden. I was family. I am family.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
I will try to talk clearly. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're learning. Okay. Right.
I was terrified,
Oh, sure.
but I decided to conquer. I was happy, I was sad, I didn't know when I would be back. I knew was my last embrace with my parents. I knew was the beginning embrace to my future. I cried, I smiled, I win. And I will live again my adventure in Sweden. Jag pratar på svenska.
My
Yo hablo pues,
is what?
meaning.
I don't speak Swedish. Yeah.
Yeah.
My adventure in
I
Sweden
love
is
Sweden.
that
Ja,
last.
vi är
What's your name?
That I love Sweden.
The last practice I wrote in Swedish, so I said jag pratar på svenska, meaning yo hablo sueco. I speak Spanish. I speak Swedish. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I have 3 languages in my head.
Okay, and she has 3 languages in her head, so some of them come out differently. So, she's speaking pretty much all of them, when she's speaking. So, an adventure in Sweden. I was terrified, but I decided to conquer. I was happy. I was sad. I didn't know when I would be back. I knew was my last embrace with my parents. I knew was the beginning embrace to my future. I cry, I smile, I win, and will live again my adventure in Sweden.
Wow.
Good.
Very nice.
That's fun.
Good job, kid. And this is Cynthia.
Note how that whole poem is centered around her verbs. She was terrified, cried, smiled. I guess they're adjectives too. Winked. So that's very good. She gave us the emotion right through that.
I like how you changed tense with the verbs throughout. Like you started past, then you went really strong with present, and then future. It's really nice.
Just living.
Yay. All
It
right,
reminds
Becky.
me of a kind of a nostalgia that's going on there.
Does anybody else have any comments?
I sort of just went hiking in Shenandoah. It kind of reminded me of the feeling you get when you're going like on a journey up and you like reach the peak and then, it's just like the greatest thing ever. And, there's like like a plateau of emotions, like you go down, like you like, oh, well, I'm not at this same high, I would like to come back, like you're like future sight into like the next journey almost. I would just kind of remind me of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. All
Oh,
right,
I want to mention something else that we did in our poetry group. Our mentor asked us if we could possibly make a copy of the poem that we wrote and distribute the copy to the group, even if we made enough so 2 people looked on, because it is much easier to look at the poem and to hear somebody read it. If you just hear it being read for the first time, it's hard to gather, at least it is for me, the whole significance of it and where it's going. If you have the printed copy in front of you, it's much easier. You can go back and look at it and see how it develops and so on. So if that's a possibility, you're in a library, you could bring a copy to the library. I'm sure you have a copy machine there, and print a couple copies. You could share a copy with each other. You don't have too many people, make 5 copies and share it.
Good suggestion. Thank you. We'll put that on our list.
Ask the library to finance you.
Okay. I think they're already doing that. Okay, Marquise, did you want to read yours?
Sure.
I did the one about picking a color a while back, and mine's less of like a color and more like a gradation of colors, like the gradation between red, orange, and yellow. It's called Hazy, Haphazard, and In a Hurry. Soft, supple, and perfect, preferably with jam on toast. Fleeting, as is the end of long summer nights. Warm, as I turn my face from the harsh rays, fireworks flickering behind my lids. Dead calm.
Dead calm. I like that. That's a good phrase. Dead calm. Mm-hmm.
Read it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soft, supple, and perfect, preferably with jam on toast. Fleeting, as is the end of the long summer night, fleeting, as is the end of days on long summer nights. Warm, as I turn my face away from harsh rays, fireworks flickering behind my lids. Dead calm.
What's the title of that poem?
Hazy, haphazard, and in a hurry.
Okay. Mhm.
What did you want us to take away from Dead Calm? What image? Was that behind the
Um,
lids?
I was kind of relating the fact that the color I was talking about is kind of like a sunset color, a peach, what I like to eat in the morning, and then when you're tanning on the beach and the sun, your eyes are closed and the sun's, but you can see the color of like a reddish behind. So that all that same color gradation of color, that red, orange, yellow, it all gives me a feeling of like serenity,
Nice.
calmness, and things. So I was kind of putting it all together in different scenarios.
I like that.
Did you mean to do it morning, midday, and night?
I did not, but
Yeah.
maybe I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, it reminds me, when you look at the sunset or sunrise, something beautiful like that, you're just in awe. You're
Yeah.
speechless. You really, it's so hard to describe. And you just want to stand there and look at it and just be absorbed in that moment. So it is dead.
Like you bask a lot in those moments, but it's pretty fleeting. I think like that feeling from that.
Right.
So something that always gives me something to look back on a lot, which I feel like is a sign of like not getting enough of something,
Speaking of color, I had an interesting yesterday in our last poetry meeting. One of the participants said he was looking for poems on clouds, and I had kind of scratched out a half a poem a couple of days previous about a cloud I saw in the sky. It was kind of funny. You know, you look at these clouds and they take different shapes. And this cloud looked like it was a big polar bear trying to stand on its head, and its two legs were sticking up straight. And then about 4 minutes later, I looked again to see if he was still there. And now I could see the polar bear on his back with four legs sticking up in the air. And so I wrote a little poem about it. The man in our class is collecting pictures and poems about clouds, and he's going to put them together in a book. So that's an interesting subject, isn't it? But I asked, let's see, I asked Gemini, how come clouds are white? Do you all know why clouds are white?
I know.
No.
Well, a cloud is made up of little rain droplets, and the rain, the water, the sun is reflected in the droplets, and it reflects all the colors of the prism. But when you get all the colors reflected at once, you get white, and that's why clouds are white. Now, I didn't ask why they're gray, so I have to go back and ask why they're gray. But I thought, oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So you're really looking at little groups of rain droplets up there. And so my last line on my poem was, "Get up now. You had time to play. Get up, go find your buddies and bring us some rain," which we desperately need.
You know, ironically, in that poem, white seems to be the home of diversity, right? It's what you get when you mix everything together.
That's right.
In life, we don't think of white as harboring diversity, almost avoiding diversity. Not to be too political, but I mean, I think that's the image.
Too late.
Too late, yeah, sorry.
All right. Any comments for Marquise? Any other comments?
I really liked it because it was short. It was very powerful. Took us through a day plus. And I just like the way you structured it. Thank you.
I'm done.
I know you are. Too late. Sorry, I'm standing there listening and not moving. Okay.
Yeah, and I liked his reading of it. I felt like he owned it in his his tone of voice, and sort of almost in a emotion but not emotion at the same time kind of thing. Like it was his. This is what he's saying. This is, yeah. So I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Right.
Amber, where's your poem?
I'm sorry?
Was that Amber that just spoke?
No, that was a laner.
I don't know, your name was under it.
Those are my initials, AMBR.
Oh, it looks like Amber.
Yeah, well, I have a granddaughter named Amber, and I don't have one to share tonight.
Oh, okay. You got a pile of books behind you. You must be a reader.
I'm an author and a reader. Yeah.
Great.
I'm sorry, I thought I introduced her. Maybe I didn't. I'm sorry. Alina is also going to be one of our teachers. And she works here in the literacy program as well.
Good.
Meet Marilyn.
Good to meet you.
Okay, who's next? Okay.
This one's about experience. I called it About Face. Face up, turn to the bright sun, blue sky, the vanishing port of Lahaina small, the Pacific vast. Why this trip to face my fears, the unknown, unseen, beneath inky blue ocean waves? Breathe in, mask on, face down, be calm like deep water. Plunge through the air-water interface into another dimension, as clear beneath as above. Bright yellow tang, rainbow fish, nuku nuku ah, ooh ah, vivid flashes of color and limitless crystal blue. Time stands still. Faced fears dissolve. Sudden clarity in an upside-down world. Frothy white streaks float above the horizon. The faraway port draws near. Breathe out, mask off, face forward. Be calm like deep water.
That's great. What is the title?
About face.
About Faith. I love it. I love it. So scuba diving was the inspiration? Well, not maybe not scuba, but. Well, and scuba diving. Okay, that's what I was visualizing when you were doing it. I've never done that, but I feel like I did listening to your description.
I have always water where I can't see.
I too.
Even if it's a swimming pool at night, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Fascinating. Nice job.
Thank
you.
Any other comments? Did you hear it, Marilyn?
Not too well, no. What was the title?
About face. About face. About face.
F-A-T-E, fate?
F-A-C-E, face.
About face. About face.
Yes.
Good time.
No, it's very difficult to hear through the microphone.
Okay. Would you like for me to read it?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
would. Slowly. Read it slowly.
Okay. About face. Face up. Turn to the bright sun, blue sky, the vanishing port of Lahaina, small, the Pacific vast. Why this trip to face my fears, the unknown, unseen, beneath the inky blue ocean waves? Breathe in, mask on, face down, be calm like deep water. Plunge through the air with water interface into another dimension, as clear beneath as above. Bright yellow, hang, rainbow fish, and I can't beat that. And what is that?
Nuku nuku ah is the state fish of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take
You didn't know that.
No, I didn't. Okay, so she was naming a fish. And then, so after that naming of that fish, she says, vivid flashes of color in limitless crystal blue. Time stands still. Faced fears dissolve. Sudden clarity in an upside down world. Frothy white streaks float above the horizon. The faraway port draws near. Breathe out, mask off, face forward, be calm like deep water.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I like the contrast and the different, in the beginning, you talk about the different faces, and then, you know, gathering yourself with a mask on, going under the water and seeing all that beauty in the water. There was one phrase that you might shorten. It just, you were, I guess, looking at fish and you said, and one that looks like. Just think about cutting a few words out. Because you haven't, the rest of your poem was very almost staccato, you know, very short phrases, which is very powerful. I'm not really a critic. I don't know why I'm talking so much. So.
Well, those short phrases though gave it a sort of a rhythmic cadence
Right,
that
and that's why
I
when
really enjoyed.
exactly.
Yeah.
But then when she breaks that cadence up and one that looks like that, well, wait, see, that kind of broke up that cadence. So
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, yeah, continue the cadence. Yeah, that just the two words. Most of them were 2 words. Very good. Good that you got that. That's good. You see the feeling, just how phrasing adds to the feeling of the poem.
Yeah, I kind of disagree. I like that it's so staccato when you're going under and then it gets longer when you're under looking at the fish. And then it gets staccato again when you're coming back up and you're changing direction. I thought that was really pretty.
I meant that, yeah.
That's a good point, really.
Okay, that's good. Diversity in speech is very good.
Now we should put Sunny on the stage and ask her to read her poem, shouldn't we?
Oh.
No, Sunny,
Yeah, sorry.
Sunny had not anticipated doing this, so Sunny did not bring a poem. Sorry, I will the next time. Obviously got caught in my little trap.
You know, the term about face.
Okay, so one of the things, Marilyn, that we were going to be talking about tonight, and we've, thank you everybody that read their poem. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure Marilyn does. So one of the other things that we were going to be talking about is how we all, how we all think about the way we look at things. Can you hear me now? Oh, what a rookie. This is, okay. So what we were to be talking about tonight was our minds. You know, when we are showing up and thinking about what we do with our minds. So when we show up, what do we do? How to say this? Our bright minds, our minds are for being aware of things. How when we talk and when we say things to each other, what we do with our words and how we say them. So each of our poems tell each other and the people, and I hope I'm talking loud enough. Oh, anyway, so what we're trying to relay to people is how we're feeling on the inside. It's our emotions that's coming through. Okay, it's how we feel when we're sitting writing that. Like when Marquise was writing, he felt all of what because it came through his point. Okay, and you said that. So those things, when when you're doing that type of thing, that's what comes through, their emotions, okay? Our feelings, that's what gets us, you from leaving your parents, okay? You felt that. And so when you write those things, what you're feeling shows up in the way you write. That's writing for yourself as well as somebody else that picks it up and reads it. They can understand where the emotions come. What is coming out of you is who you are. What's happening at that particular moment. Okay. So what the other things that we were going to talk about was I wanted to share a little song that gives you an idea of this particular group when we're talking about how when we have this feeling of expression, okay? So when we are expressing, this song will play. Can you play it, Kathy? Yeah, sure. Okay, so this song will give you an idea of what I'm talking about when you are expressing.
Art and Dottie Todd with number 4. Easiest introduction of all. We have but one spot to fill. And the fellows who made it a hit are here tonight. This is number 5. I wonder who wrote the book of love. Tell me, who wrote the book of love? I've got to know the answer. Someone from above. I wonder who wrote the book of love. I love you, darling, baby, you know I do. And I've got to leave this book of love. Find out why it's true. Wonder who wrote the book of love. That's what there's a lover. You love with all your heart. Just as you tell her. You never want a body. Just as you remember the meaning of romance. Ain't that before you break up, but you give it just one more chance. Oh, I wonder who wrote the book of love. Baby, I love you, yes I do. But there's no end to the love. I was the one that's true. Wonder who wrote the book of love. That's the one that's love. You love with all your heart. Just as you tell her. You never want to part it. Just as you remember the meaning of romance. Ain't that before you break up, but you give it just one more chance. Oh, I wonder who wrote the book of love. Baby, I love you, yes I do. There's no end to the love. I was the one that's true. Wonder who wrote the book of love. Who wrote the
Okay, I hope everybody heard that. Okay, so what was the main word that was in there?
Love.
And what else?
Book.
And what else?
Oh, no.
Who?
Wonder.
Wonder.
You know, when you are thinking out of your box,
Yep.
you know, because we put ourselves in boxes. So what is the big thing about all of that? We wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, we see things. Marquise seeing what he saw with the sun. Okay, her feelings. Those are the things that bring you into what you're doing. Okay, That's when you're quiet, when you're in yourself, when you're learning how to be quiet so that you can create. You can't create with lots of noise and whatever, all the noise around you. It's harder on you to do that. That's the point of having you understand that when we're writing, the quietness is important. It is very important. So the other thing that we want to move towards too is the beginner's mind is also other things. So I want you to think about what that beginner's mind really is all about. You've got books in front of you. We're not going to have nearly the time that we wanted to dedicate. So think about those books that when you look at the books that you picked up off the table there. When you're looking at those books, these books are from children, for children. Okay. So when you think about yourself as a child, if you go back and you think about reading those books, just the few lines that's there, what do you get out of those few lines that are there? They're very short, they're very poignant, and they make you think out of the box. Things that you wouldn't ordinarily think. So would anybody like to read one of the poems that are there? Okay, Marquise?
The book I picked was Poetry for Young People by Maya Angelou.
Oh, goody.
This one stuck out to me. It's called I Can See. Give me your hand. Make room for me to read and follow you beyond this rage of poetry. Let others have the privacy of touching words and love of loss of love. For me, give me your hand.
That's nice.
Yeah, sure. Give me your hand. Make room for me to lead and follow you beyond this rage of poetry. Let others have the privacy of touching words and love of loss of love. For me, give me your hand.
Why did that stick out to you?
I just like the structure of this one a lot. I tend to like short, almost hyperbolic expressions of like a very poignant thought. I just feel like she hit the nail on the head on that one. Get a powerful point across with those little words as possible in my mind. Sometimes you can say a lot with less. I just feel like for some people who might, have problems or be intimidated by the concept of word smithing and wordplay and things like that, or like the HD brain and stuff like that. Things like this with a hook almost, but also like a structure that's kind of like not typical. I'm not sure how exactly she wanted you it to be said out loud, but I just assumed the way that I think it's structured. It's like atypical that way, so it catches you off guard almost to make you think about what she's saying. And obviously the message is pretty powerful, I think.
Yes, she does have a way with words. Yes. Okay. All right. And who would like to pick and read? All right, Bill.
I have one from Dr. Seuss. One day you will read in the National Geographic of a faraway land with no smelly bad traffic.
The true American dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's from the book called You're Only Old Once. So it's a grandfather passing his message back to his grandchildren.
Right.
Very cute, I thought.
Okay, so each and every one of your books contain a message. You picked that book for a reason, okay? Whether it's the color, for whatever reason, something grabs you, okay? That creates an emotion. We don't recognize things because we're so used to stuffing them. So this is going to, as you grow into what you're doing, you're creating, you are going to grow in probably in ways that you're not used to growing. You've not been aware. And now you're going to become more aware of who you really are. Because it's bringing up emotions, feelings, things that we stuff, things that we don't think about.
I have a Dr. Seuss here. It's too long to read, but just the rhyming is so much fun.
Okay.
Right? And rhyme will just take you to places you don't expect. Sometimes rhyming is kind of trite, right? It doesn't work,
Right.
but it works with Dr. Seuss. Right?
Yes.
So it's too long, but I'll read a few pages to give a
Okay.
flavor of it.
All right.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, black fin, blue fish, old fish, new fish. This one has a little star, this one has a little car. Say, what a lot of fish there are. Yes, some are red and some are blue, some are old and some are new, some are sad and some are glad, and some are very, very bad. Why are they sad and glad and bad? I do not know. Go ask your dad. I used to love to read that. But just the rhyming is fun.
Right.
It captures you, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it captures you as adults, what do you think it does to kids?
Transports them, I think, yeah.
Right.
But also, like she was saying, the compressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a whole bunch of words, but just enough to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm listening.
Remember Goodnight Moon? It's not-
Oh, yeah.
Goodnight Moon, I read that thousands of times.
Oh,
It's
really?
it's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I know it by memory.
Yeah.
I know it by memory, but don't put me on the spot, but yeah. Good night.
Oh, come on.
My memory's gone, so don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to read one more? Okay. All right then. So let's then move on to the next thing. Would you like to move on and say, sure, a few things? Let's do the short version.
Hi, Marilyn. I'm Catherine. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Nice
great.
clear voice.
Thank you. So I was the teacher in the class last week. So just to give you a rundown of what we did, we talked a lot about what you talked about earlier, how we feel when we write poetry. We also talked about why each of us individually writes poetry. And we talked about how we write poetry. And you talked about that. You sit at your desk and some of us like to be outside when we write. Some of us like to be inside. Some of us like to have noise or music in the background. Some of us need silence, but it's all different. And so we talked about that. Today I'm coming as I'm the teen library coordinator for the library. So Sunny brought children's poetry books and I brought very angsty teen poetry books. Who has a young adult? It should have a YA sticker. Aha, look at us. Good. So I'll read one of my poems. This is from the book When the Stars Wrote Back by Trista Mather. And it's very short. It says, I don't like playing games. I'm always aching to lay my cards down on the table. You need a 3? I've got a 3. Take anything you need.
Oh.
So
Very childlike.
yeah, I liked it. We talked a lot about what it's like as a child, listening to rhyming, reading books, having it read to you. But what kind of place did poetry have in your life as a teenager? did it have any place? But poetry can be many things. You may not have written it, but did you hear a certain song when you were a teenager that you couldn't stop listening to?
Who wrote the Book of Love?
Who wrote the Book of Love?
I knew every one of those songs.
You did, okay.
Actually, my older brother babysat for me extensively. He was
Yeah.
10 years older, so.
Yeah.
He was born in 38 and I was born in 48, but in the 50s, when he was watching me, all these songs came out. And Who Wrote the Book of Love was a fun song. And now when you read it, though, the one line that stuck out, we break up and you give her just one more chance.
Yeah.
That would not sell today.
No.
Not that you give it one more chance.
Right.
And because if it were corrupted, it might likely be a male
Right,
who needs another chance.
right.
Yeah, so I thought that was fun to listen to.
Well,
Who
I,
did write the Book of Love? So you don't know.
oh, that's fine. So
Yes,
that's,
we do know.
Okay, the man.
I do know.
Okay, no.
Yeah, the person that wrote it, there were six gentlemen that were in the group, and the group was named the Monotones.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And, Charles Patrick was the lead singer. And he, I take the story behind him writing that was his ability to, pick up on, when we hear jingles from the TV and that sort of thing. So he heard a jingle having to do with Pepsodent,
I
the
love it.
toothpaste,
Sure.
a long time ago. I mean, we rarely hear that. So he heard, what was the phrase he heard? Something about and the yellow will go away, the yellow from your teeth, right, will go away. And, but he said, wonder how the yellow goes away. And then, don't ask how, because it didn't go elaborate any further, but the word wonder. And then however, the rest of the song came about, wonder was the big word.
Wow, fascinating.
Uh-huh. So,
He used Brill cream, I bet. Little dabble, do
One comment about that, just got out of the shower a couple hours ago, I'm standing there in front of the mirror, and it came to me, Brill cream, a little dab of that sort of thing. And so anyway, I'm looking at it, and at myself in the mirror, and said, what happened? I mean, so you used 50 gallons of that stuff. I'm looking at it. And it was I said, well, it's the inspiration for another poem. So, but it really struck me as kind of funny that you remember that funny thing there.
and that's the other thing, when you're talking about writing poems and stuff like that, when you get reminded, of memories, I'm sorry, like Robert, we're from the old generation, and those and all those crazy songs, y'all think they're crazy, but we love them.
We love them, yeah, sure.
Oh my God, if you're talking about singing at the top of your lungs, you could hear us coming and going up and down the street all the time. I'm not kidding. Everybody in the car, no matter where you were singing your brains out.
Well, speaking of love, that's a big motivator for a lot of teen poetry, including the poem that I wrote, which is saying, I don't want to play games, meaning like a first relationship, and basically devoting yourself to someone. You need a 3, I have a 3, take all that you want.
That's nice.
Yeah, so a lot of teen poetry kind of goes around that first love, first heartbreak, those emotions that are just so big and potent and scary, make for some good poetry. And I don't want to be a cynic, but after a couple heartbreaks, it doesn't hurt that much anymore, does it? Or a couple first loves, it doesn't have the same feeling. So I guess as we want to write poetry and find our inspiration, we look back on those big feelings that seem hard to grasp.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of teen poetry is about. First, lots of first.
Today, you're saying?
Yeah, or I think
It goes
it's
back to
transcend,
back.
yeah, just that age group.
But there are events that can shock you later in life, like 9/11. My first poem was about 9/11. That day,
Yeah,
I
you
wrote,
said that, yeah,
watching the towers come down,
right?
just so shocking.
And because that's a first for
Yes.
you, like a shocking event
Right.
to your system, it was, you were able to write a poem about it,
First
so.
one, that's right.
Right, so we can take that energy, that feeling from what shocks you, what's something that surprises you, and maybe it's something you don't wanna think about because it's so big,
Right.
but maybe it's just what you need to fuel a poem.
Yeah.
That's my short.
I like that. Good. Well said.
Okay, well, everyone, Marilyn, I hope you enjoyed our class.
Yes, I did. I just want to ask the class though, if they do me a favor and just share the book with one other person,
Yes.
you know, just spread the word, okay? And you know, at the end of the book, I have a couple poems by two grandchildren, teenagers. It's a good thing for teenagers. Teenagers lean towards poetry, I think. So it's a good thing for them to get involved in writing too.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming.
I
And
congratulate you all and I hope you keep it up.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, you added a
Thanks
little
for
bit to it. That's very nice. Thank you.
All righty. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Fun.
So now
Okay.
more.